What up, YouTube? How you living? I hope everybody's day is going amazing. My day is going beautifully, man. If you want to know what I come on here and do in these videos, you can look at the first 10-15 seconds of like my last 5-6 videos. It'll go in quick depth of what I do, who I am, and how I come with these perspectives, right? But that's not what we're gonna do on this vid. I'm gonna just kind of jump straight into what's on my mind. The reason you clicked on the video, the title of it, this has to be the most important concept of self-development for myself, and it's simple. It's humility, bro. I think that once we boil ourselves down to a version of us that we say we can learn from any and everything around us, we're so much better off. Once I began to beat this into my brain with every giving inch of power that I had, because it was hard. It was hard, and I'm gonna tell you why. But I started to see my life go on an uptrend as far as feeling myself get closer, whether it be mentally, spiritually, or physically, to the life that I want for myself. I say this was hard, and I still struggle with it sometimes. I ain't gonna bap. I'm stubborn. Like, it's hard for me to not go with how I view things. You have to literally debunk my theory in order for me to say, okay, yeah, you're right. If it don't sound better than what I'm saying, it doesn't make sense to me why I'm gonna adhere to what you have to say. Now, as I've gotten older, I knew that I started becoming a little humbler, because I started even just accepting people's views. Like, okay, that's how you feel, then hey, that's cool. I respect it. Even though I don't feel like it, I can respect it enough to say, hey, you're your own individual. You feel that way. You understand? Because at one point, if you didn't see what I seen, you don't. Straight like that. But then, now as I've gotten older, what I've realized, and something I live and die on, I say this in every single video damn near, you can learn from a crackhead. Like, you can learn from any and everything as long as your eyes are open to what life is presenting to you, bro. And it takes you actually deciding to make a change in your life. You have to make the decision. You have to make the decision. It doesn't work if you don't. I feel like this, and I just kind of started looking at life like this. I feel like it's life when I'm just kind of going with the flow. It's life when I'm kind of reverting into bad habits, and it's life when I'm kind of like right on the brink of the unknown and what I know, and I'm maneuvering it with each step forward. You understand? It's not like I'm looking at it through hindsight, like, oh, I went through that and I really didn't know what I was doing, so I did anything, and this is what happened. As I'm going through it now, in that, whenever I am in that phase, or that state of mind, I guess you could say, I'm knowing that I don't know in the moment, and I'm trying to figure it out. I feel like that's 10 times more efficient and more mature way of looking at life. I think that it allows you to look at life from the aspect of the person who yourself, who knows as much as you can know, just for right now in this instant, right? I think that sometimes being calm, collected, and laid back, not all the time, but sometimes too cool for school, you just miss out on important things, right? And so you must live on that, right? You must live on that attacking, embracing, trying to figure it out all the time, you understand? And I think that the more you look at life through that lens, the more it makes sense to humble yourself down, you understand? You are literally on the brink of the unknown. The only way to accept that you don't know things is to humble yourself down and say it. You feel me? And you start to realize, even though somebody may not be as intellectually smart as you may feel that way. You may feel someone doesn't come from the same background as you, isn't financially stable as you, doesn't dress like you, doesn't talk like you, doesn't walk like you understand? You will be able to see that certain perspectives, they may say 10 sentences, but you may realize that 1 or 2 sentences they say may just be the 1 or 2 sentences you needed to hear. And you're able to X out all of the other things that sometimes we allow to water down what people have to say, or allow us to look at people in a certain light before we ever take in the things that they tell us, you feel me? And I think that people who have old souls are really good at this, and it's a natural thing to them. People who grow up around their elders, you know, people who don't really have younger siblings their age at all, and you kind of just stuck with your aunts, your uncles, your grandfathers, your grandmothers, your older cousins, and things like that. You kind of naturally get that, you understand, because those are the conversations that you're just naturally having. That was something too that for a long time I felt in myself, and maybe you felt this before, that my conversations, I didn't have enough of that in my life. I didn't have enough of those mature conversations with people. So when it was time for me to have those with people of my age, like I just didn't really have nothing to offer into those conversations until I started to humble myself down and accept that I didn't know. It's like as soon as you accept you don't know, it's like you literally taking off a pair of shades you look at the world in and putting on a different pair of shades, and you start seeing everything as opportunity to grow, bro. It's crazy. And I'm like, okay, well now you know that you don't know, so how you gonna fix it? And I simply started submerging myself into things. I think that you should start submerging yourself into more of things that you don't know, more of the things that are fears to us, you understand? And you'll see that on the back end of you facing your fear is a reward that's worth its weight in gold, honestly, bro. And it just takes stacking up so many of those for us to say, you know, in the end, I lived a good life. I did what I was supposed to do. I found true purpose. And I think inside of doing that is where you find the purpose, your own purpose in life, you understand? Because every experience is going to be different for everyone. But if you are just constantly looking at it through a lens of attempting to understand what's going on, you'll have people that are gonna draw to you. Although y'all stories won't be the same, they're gonna relate. And those are people that become leaders of men and powerful, you know, entities, and people that people want to hear and want to know their story and try to figure out how they got where they got, you understand? And you can now leave the breadcrumbs that success leaves, because I think that it does that, you know? I think that and I'll end off by saying this. I think that because success leaves breadcrumbs, it's super easy for us to get there. Just follow the ones who did it before us, who are inside the rooms that we, you know, want to be in. And I know that successful people, I realize this, they have the same 24 hours in a day as me, right? And I know that I can spend 24 hours feeling like I'm working extremely hard, and it might be the most mundane tasks. It may be working a little shift at work, yeah, having meetings and things like that, schoolwork, making YouTube videos, and trying to read my book a little bit. And by that time, the day is over, you understand? If I'm doing that, and there are Fortune 500 companies being built every single day, there must be people that have teams of people like myself that are working underneath them. They're in teams of people like myself that specialize in specific categories in order to, you know, attain this. And I say in order to attain the success of the business. And I say all of this to talk about that humility thing. I think that successful people, they realize that they don't know it all, you understand? And they are willing and humble enough to say it so that they can put people who do know more than them inside of these positions. Number one, offer them opportunity, but number two, also get them to where they want to go. And I think that once you hit that point in life when you're doing that, allowing people to work inside of their purpose while you're fulfilling your purpose, and you're doing that for more than just yourself, more than just the people you love, whenever that is your life's duty and goal, then hey, you made it. I don't think life gets any better than that. Like, I don't care about financials, I don't care about physical goods, I don't care about none of that. If you have made it to that point in your life every single day where your only goal is to educate people and to put people in position to change the aspects of their lives, then I think you've won. And I think that we all should strive toward making that happen for ourselves. How? Through humility, because through him, you'll conquer it all. Through him, I promise you, it had been already done. I'm out of here.
I went through hell and back, and I came back a better me. Said this so many times, but I swear I finally see